So before we get started in this channeling, and you're also welcome to ask questions. I got on the glasses today so I can see you and I can see chat well. Um, so don't if you have a question that relates to what she's saying, or you just have a question for this particular elemental dragon, you can put it in chat, and I'm sure she would be honored to talk to you. So okay, marketing stuff. Office always says you got to tell what you have going on. So let's just get that out of the way. We still have the free Ask Your Spirit Guide a Question thing. That is a free up to 10-minute reading. And that is when you join my Patreon community. When you do that, messages from your account, and you get that question answered. Or if you just want a general, just send us a photo and say nothing. Use the link that you're given when you message us. Pick a time, even if you're not going to be there. Don't worry about it. I will record it and send it to you. That's how it goes. So even without you being there, I can tap into a lot of information that your spirit guides might want you to know for whatever is going on in your life right now. So that I haven't done an offer like that for free in quite a few years. All right. So that offer ends in only a week, insofar as being able to get your code and book it in. As long as you get your code and book it, you're fine. But right now we're running out of spaces for it. We had a lot more people accept it than we thought, which is wonderful, but I can't burn out. So I have to end the offer in a week for that. Okay.
The code must be used.
Yeah, the code must be used. If you have a code and you're sitting on it, go ahead and book it, even if you think you can't be there, because it does expire. It expires in our system. But as long as you get your booking in, you'll be able to do that and get a free reading of up to 10 minutes. Yeah, it's a really generous offer because I'm fast. When I channel, it's at lightning speed, and it's a lot coming your way. And it's all the things that maybe you weren't thinking about, the things in your life that would come up also that you were thinking about. And you can do a general, or you can ask your guide something specific. You can show up live, or you don't have to. It's up to you. The other offer is 25% off of a reading, of any reading that's on my website at PamelaAaralyn.com. Okay, I've been corrected. 30 minutes or 40-minute reading, not the 20-minute. So for the 20-minute, we don't have that offer, but the 30-minute reading and the 40-minute offer reading, we get 25% off. That's closing in a week. Get your code, shoot us an email. All right. 30% off of the Pythagoras, Channeling Pythagoras 777, the 7 Holy Keys to Heal Your Life. So it's all about patterns and how to heal karma and how to tap in with this number and what it actually means on a deeper level. So not a numerology class. Pythagoras is an architect of the soul. So this is really more personal than you're thinking. That 30% off offer, I don't know when that closes because you didn't put it on the board for me to tell them.
Next Sunday.
Next Sunday.
It's 26th, yeah.
Yeah, so next Sunday is when that code closes off. So make sure if you have a code and you're sitting on it, just go ahead and book it up, okay? I didn't move my camera again. Do you guys see my flower? My sister-in-law gave me that, and that's a real flower. It's super cool. We do have an amazing offer coming up on Patreon, which is a surprise for October, but I'm not going to announce it until like the 1st or 2nd of October. So keep your eyes open for that. Okay, that's it for marketing. I met this being Tiamat. Do you want to know the story? Who here knows the story? I'm so curious who remembers me from 2015. I was around 40 years old. I had just turned 40, and I was going through this intense dark night of the soul, this intense depression. And sometimes depression happens because you're not on track with your path in life. And that was the case for me. Pardon the turban today. I'm conditioning my hair, and unless you want to see like wet, soppy hair, this is just what had to happen. Tiamat likes it though. It is a technology to put your hair up and to hold in all that energy that you're working with. So who wants to hear the story of Tiamat? It is a fun story. She actually frightened me when I met her. So Tiamat is a red dragon. She represents the red dragon family. She represents all the beings who represent that. She represents the bridge between dark and light. She represents the bridge between good and bad, right and wrong, evil and goodness, etc. She represents the parts of the whole and how to bring oneness into every single separate division-based thought, concept, principle, or belief that you've ever had. So with that being said, she's kind of a big deal. She has never let me do charge to work with her. Every now and then she will come in like during someone's session, but primarily speaking, she stays away from money. She only lets me channel her like in this kind of portal where everyone can hear her because she is a non-exclusive dragon. So I met her at age 40, going back to that. And I was going through this really difficult time where spirit was just pushing me into channeling for you guys. And I had only been channeling one-on-one, and in sessions I had been teaching people for a while, but channeling was only a one-on-one scenario. It had never happened publicly before, except for maybe once or twice at a friend's event. I think I did it. But not many people were there, you know. So Tiamat met me in the astral realm during my dream state one night. And I do this thing, my spirit leaves my body. I talk about it like it's no big deal because it's been happening. Astral travel has been happening for me since I was a child. So I was doing the thing, going to other realms, exploring, and I kind of got lost in the astral realm. And I ended up in this realm, and it was like a void space, just everywhere. It felt like being held in the arms of God, and simultaneously that only lasted for a moment until I was projected into this fragmented state where I felt all the aspects of me fragmenting and then coming back together again. It's a very powerful, magical healing experience. And right at the tail end of it, I saw this massive, when I say big, I mean like minimum, just with her body, not including her tail, she's like 3 football fields long worth of a dragon. Right? And that was before I even could see her tail. That was without it lengthened out. And she blew fire, and it was in my direction, and it kind of went all around me, and I thought she was trying to hurt me. I was really afraid, and the energy of it knocked me back, you know, into the astral realm. And there was this booming, powerful voice that said, "Why are you here?" And I said, "I'm just, you know, a human who was astral traveling and I got lost." And I was really scared and my voice was shaking. And I'm like, "I don't think that I'm meant to be here. I'm sorry if I happened upon some things that, like I was just so humbled by her that I didn't even know how to talk." And she all of these baby whelpling dragons, these tiny little dragons started coming around her and kind of giggling and making vibrational noises. And and then they were laughing and they were like, "Oh, she thinks she's human." You know, and she said, "I'll ask you again, Kali, why are you here?" And I had never heard that name before. I hadn't gone into any Eastern studies or anything of that. And at that time when that was happening, I remember I have a protector guide that travels with me throughout bilocation or astral travel experiences. And the guide was holding this big mirror in front of me. And I had this blue body, and I had like a, I don't know what to call it, a girdle around me. And I was just wild looking. You know, my hair was everywhere and my tongue was sticking out. And I looked kind of like I was hungry for something. And it was just, and then I would shift back into like the human, and then I would shift into whatever this being was, and then the human, and all the little dragons were giggling and saying, "Oh, she thinks she's human. That's so funny. Ha 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 ha." And this was my Tiamat meeting. And she wrapped me up in her tail, and she took me on this journey to this planet that she called Harmony. And she said, "You can share this with people. It's okay. It's going to come out more of the secrets of our mysteries in your time, and it's okay to work with me, but you must do so in deepest truth, because I will not entertain lies." And this is how dragons talk. She said, "I will not entertain lies." And I said, "Are you insinuating that I'm lying?" And she said, "All fear is a lie, and everyone does it. Everyone lies." This is exactly how she talks. Even her whisper was so powerful. And that's how I met her. So then I started to change. When people would come at me with fear-based things, Tiamat would just roar out of me and from me, and not in an angry way, but in this, that's not a truth way. And she told me that she was a bridge of consciousness and that she was here for a unique time in history, which we are all happening upon. We're coming upon this unique time in history when we need to understand that the all is in the one and the one is in the all. And then she gave me an image of Hermes of Trismegestus. I did not know who he was at the time even. I had not studied the Kyballion at that time. So she gave me this image of Hermes of Trismegestus and talking and channeling through him. And she said, this is how the cosmic and universal laws were written. They're from prime elemental beings such as myself, and I am not the only one, but I am the being responsible for the Kyballion universal law. The all is in the one, and the one is in the all. And she began to teach me about that, and it took me from then until now to really even understand just that one mystical law, right? So we owe her deep respect during this time. If you have personal questions to ask her, it might be something where you want to understand you're talking to a powerful, powerful being. So when you get guidance from a being of this nature, I want you to be respectful and know that she can also come through and talk to you. She's not exclusive to me. She doesn't just choose people randomly, though. So if she does end up talking to you today and giving you some guidance, it's likely that you are a part of that red dragon family that represents the bridge of consciousness between right and wrong and good and bad and all these things. So don't be silly with her. Don't spam me. Just if I don't see your question, just wait until she starts answering questions. She's going to give a message first, copy and paste your question until I see it. And I may not see it because she tends to just jump in and say, okay, that one. And if I see something and she doesn't want to read it, she will literally blur the words on the screen so that I can't see it if it feels like it's not serious enough for her. So the dragons are wise. They're a little snarky, but they tell you the direct truth. There's nothing indirect or vague about them. So there's a lot going on with this energy. Okay. Let's see. Let me pull up some of my notes here about what she wanted to say. The general message for society today from Tiamat, the red dragon, is remove bitterness, criticism, doubt, and hatred from your heart. Remove jealousy as well. All of these vibrations are making you spiritually sick. You have become a society that is spiritually sick. And being this bitter is like drinking poison. And when you are bitter towards other beings and your governments and humans in general, when you're bitter towards other beings, including all the beings that you are afraid of, such as the reptilians and the Dracos specifically, when you are this bitter, it's like drinking poison and expecting someone else to die. These days, my messages to you will be focused on removing this cancerous spread of spiritual illness that is infecting your society. Humans have lost the ability to see your fellow humans as human beings. You would rather be afraid of them. You would rather see them as soulless or mark them as a specific type of reptilian or a being that's taken over. And even if some portion of that truth exists in your dream, and all of life is a dream, but even if some portion of that is truth for what you've created in your point of magnetism, I need you to understand that every being has a soul and every being deserves respect. Dragons don't always give our love because people have to earn it. So why would you be different? We respect that people need to earn your love, But no matter what they're doing, no matter what shifts are occurring, are you becoming bitter? Are you taking their pill and swallowing it and then becoming bitter with yourselves and others? Because that is the distraction that they precisely wish for you to swallow. Are you smart enough to avoid it? Are you being mindful of your sources of information? Or are you gulping it down and then being angry that such disempowered forces are at war with you right now? If you want to win, you have to understand that love is just as much of a fiery force as the flame that they project towards you. Love is just as much of a fiery force to win this galactic and spiritual battle as the bitterness and control that they project towards you. If you take their pill and if you swallow it, they will eat you alive. You will be consumed by your own fire that they project in your direction, and then you mirror back to them. So this war is a little different, is it not? You are spiritually disowning people who don't agree with your politics, who see the world differently, who have said the wrong thing at a few times. Love them, for they know not what they do. Isn't that what one of your greatest human masters said to you at one time? What's worse? All of this hate is manufactured by the very same people that you hate. And you are taking the pill and swallowing it and calling it spirituality. Most people aren't truly filled with hate. Do you see that this doesn't come from you? That this is manufactured in you and that it is not of you? That it is caused by those in control in your world right now? Most people aren't filled with this amount of bitterness, competition, jealousy, envy, and hate. But when you engage with these forces that manufacture hate, then suddenly you feel hateful. You feel like a warrior, ready to kill anyone and anything in sight. You see, I can spot your hoaxes. I can spot your spells. And I can spot the spells they've cast upon you that you have allowed. You have allowed that magic to permeate your very hearts. I can spot these worldwide hoaxes and manufactured outrage energies immediately. And this is why I speak to you today. I want you to be able to spot them as well. This is the way you win. It's such a remedial playbook that you're using. And so many people fall for it again and again and again. I want you to stop falling for their spell. It's an uphill losing battle otherwise, right? Do you have this masochistic need to engage in this pain? If so, here we go. The journey of light versus dark, good versus bad will continue and be reborn over and over and over again. So those in my family that I represent, that I'm here to help, I represent people across every political spectrum, every spiritual belief system, every gender and non-gender, every sexual orientation, every religion, every ethnicity, every nationality, and whatnot. And how could this be? I talk about the things that unify us. Human beings are simple. You want respect. You want admiration. You still want praise, and you still want status. And you're vying for that and calling that life and calling that success and calling that happiness. You want to find someone who loves you, who you can spend the rest of your lives with. And yet you don't know how to be a companion to yourselves. While not all of you want to be mega rich, You want financial flexibility and freedom and to avoid stress over money, and yet you continue to give it power and to give most of your power to commercial needs and wants. You want to move away from pain towards pleasure, but then you swallow the pill of commercialism and you continue to fight as if you are a slave to money and to political systems. You want acceptance, which is one of the main reasons you're having many problems today with tribalism. The only difference is a handful of hot button emotionally charged issues. That is the only difference between you and I. Instead of focusing on things you have in common, the media currently is amplifying these issues, pushing you to focus on them, driving a wedge between you by making the other side appear like evil human beings who have no souls. So, are you going to cancel the dragon? Are you going to be upset? Cancel me if you want. But here we go. There's nothing wrong with voting for Trump. There's nothing wrong with voting for who you want to vote for. Tiamat support a lot of Trump supporters, and they're not closet Klan members. There's nothing wrong with being a Democrat or voting for one. But could you break the system and consider just voting for who you want, no matter their political party? It's time for that because the system is falling around your feet. I disagree with this term of wokeness, but I don't despise woke people. I can see the stage upon which they are in their journey and respect it. I think some of them are misguided in their thinking and some of them are spot on, but I understand that demonizing people doesn't change their minds. Will you begin to think like me? Will you begin to think like a dragon? Who are you to throw stones from a glass house? Can you see both sides of the abortion debate, gun control, immigration, whatever it may be? I understand how humans can come to different conclusions about those issues without thinking that they're bad people. And if me saying that makes you feel angry, maybe you're the problem, not me. So let's discuss this outrage, this manufactured outrage playbook. Let's discuss it. This is a new hot button debate. Let's just look at it. Some of you are upset that Little Mermaid is black. Is that truly your concern? When you go into your online forums, it seems like there's this huge ruckus about a black cat actress being cast as a mermaid. Just another example of division. In reality, no one cares. You have bills and life and family. Great, it's beautiful, and no one cares about those complaining, or if it's right or wrong or good or bad. It's just a beautiful mermaid and children are smiling. What is the problem? There is a rhetorical trick that humans fall for over and over again. There are 365 million people in the United States. And the law of large numbers leads to the conclusion that there's going to be a handful of racist people who don't like Black Ariel or who don't like LGBT people. I'm just using these as examples. All you have to do is compile any handful of examples and make it seem like it's a huge problem when it's not. Do you see how you're falling for it and taking the pill? They run this play over and over and over again, and you swallow the bitter poison every time. They take the fringes of each side and use them to judge the other side and pit you against each other every time. And for a society that says you want to move past this, you seem to have no problem doing it to each other. So are you still getting riled up about looking at things on TikTok? What is this newest thing you're upset? Someone called libs. Okay. Yes, we've looked at it because you've made TikTok a big deal instead of your soul. We can't fathom that, but nonetheless, this is Twitter account posting TikToks of some insane mentally deranged examples of leftists. And I realize, and so should you, that most of the leftists that you know in real life aren't like that at all. Well, guess what? Divide and conquer, that's their strategy. Did you come for truth from me today, or have you already signed off? If you want to get political about it, I'll tell you why they're doing it. You don't have to have a race issue in your society, and you don't actually have one. I'll say it again. You don't have a race issue. You have a class issue. The gap between rich and poor is wider than it's ever been, and you are terrified. And a lot of that gap comes from the fact that rich people are rigging the game, and you're smart enough to know it. And most people agree, but they only point to the other side when you're looking at the truth. Trust me, both sides are picking your pockets. If you want to be mad, don't look left or right or up or down. Look here. Look at yourselves. Hate is turning you ugly and separating you from people who need you. The dragons are saddened. We are so terribly saddened to see now how so many human beings are making passive, sweeping generalizations about other human beings. Take men and women. These days, perhaps it feels like a crime just to be a male who breathes air, and yet you're upset that you don't have any loving patriarchal figures. You go online, you read articles, and it's a constant barrage of posts reminding you how you're not anything or anyone just because you're a man. And the same goes if you feel like women have no place. You may feel the same if you're a woman and you're being pitted against each other. Or perhaps you feel that you're responsible, if you're a man, for the actions of other men. Perhaps if you're a man, you feel it's your job to police all of the other men. Or how having anything resembling close to a traditional view of the world makes you a misogynist, sexist, toxic, narcissist, dangerous, gaslighting person. We, the dragons, are so tired of those terms. They are not sacred languages. Eliminate them from your vocabulary. On the flip side, a lot of men have deeply negative views about women, and we see this. We see this as well. A lot of men think that every woman is a gold digger. Every woman is untrustworthy, emotionally unstable, bitchy. That's a fun word you use. You want to sleep with women, but you don't actually like them. Men who would do fine with dating if they just acted normal couldn't get a date because their mind is warped by red pill bullshit or blue pill bullshit. We, the dragons, haven't consumed any of your pills. Do you see the value of the message that we are sharing with you today without feeling that we are being condescending to you? We are lifting you into a realm of truth that is higher than the sides that you are pitting against each other. Now there's a large group of men and women who are fed up with dating, totally opting out of it. People are lonelier than ever. You need human connection, but your heels are dug into the sand. Men and women and beings of all gender and none need each other. Cancel me if you want. Cancel the dragons. Women and men are different because you complement each other. That's an important view for the middle ground of everything. And there's just as many happy resolves in the unisex community. All of it is well, all of it is good, and you need each other. This is just one of the more obvious examples that we could bring to you today. Take racism. We, the dragons, want society to be equal. But now a pendulum has switched to the point that you now have a green light to say anything you want about white people. You see phrases like the mediocre white man, the mediocre white corporate man tossed about as if it's not a hateful thing to say. Imagine if someone talked about a mediocre black woman. There would be a fiery storm in your collective then. Don't say anything about anyone that you couldn't say about everyone. Don't say anything about anyone that you wouldn't say about everyone. It's time to stop finger pointing at others. It's time to look within. Take responsibility for yourselves. Hold yourselves accountable. If you want your romantic life to improve, become a lovable person who someone would want to date. If you want people to treat you well and respectfully, treat them well and respectably. Instead of making your fellow human beings out to be your enemies, understand that you are your worst enemy and fix your self-sabotage. We all need to work on this. Dragons have their biases as well, but we are responsible for removing bias together. Some of you have a large disdain for woke ideology and you've picked on them because they seem to hate people, or you pick on them because they disagree with you. So it perplexes me when you claim to be spiritual. It perplexes me when you claim to be tolerant. I don't want any disagreements with anyone that would make me hateful in turn. And this is the difference between a dragon and a human. I would rather breed love than contempt. And this is the difference between a dragon and a human. But we are no different in the love in our souls. Have you read hate articles from people you disagree with and then wonder why you don't feel love inside? Have you used debate tactics? Have you proceeded to waste your time with long debates with people trying to convince them to join your way of thinking simply because it is the truth? No more, please. We dragons have a firm set of beliefs, and so do you. There are ideologies that we will disagree with, but that doesn't give us leisure to be mean. When you're out, when you're in public, smile. Look people in the eyes. Chat with them. Try to make their days a little brighter, regardless of who they are and what they look like and who you suspect they voted for and if they're woke or not. Are you constantly looking at the reanalyzing of your views? Are you changing them when new evidence comes in? This is a part of growth. We know that's hard. We know it's hard when you want to believe that you're right, because right equals safety in a fearful mind. That's how you are. So here's my challenge for you. We, the dragons, challenge you to work on trying to understand where people are coming from, even when you disagree with them. We won't want to but try. Just try. Even when you feel deeply resistant, consider what your hatred for others, what your fear of others has done to you. Ask yourselves if you want to spend your life holding on to deeply negative feelings about another human being, especially people you've never even met. Maybe, actually try having a conversation with someone who doesn't align perfectly with your views. Do it without trying to one-up them or catch them in a moment where they're wrong. The key to being open-minded is to understand that by default you are closed-minded. and to understand that this must change and that it doesn't have to be this way. You don't have to be this way. Aren't you tired, friends? I want you to stop. Just stop. I will answer your questions now. Okay. Let's look at questions. And I'm just looking at them from what I can see, which is bottom up. So if I don't see yours, just copy paste. From Logan, how does information normally come through from dragon guides? I would love to be able to better connect. She said, dragons are around when you are most resistant, begrudging, or fearful. We are around not only to help you protect yourselves and to feel stronger. We are here to break through your walls of fear because you no longer need it. Pay attention when you're deeply catalyzed and triggered, and I am there, or someone in our family could be. You will feel this, and you can pay attention to your mindset of being deeply triggered and catalyzed, deeply irritated, deeply anxious, deeply agitated. In those moments, a dragon can communicate to you. And unlike the majority of your spirit guides, it won't be a gentle whisper. It'll be in a fiery response. And we are there in the fire telling you, don't say what you're thinking. Say something loving instead. We are there in your fire and your energy fields, making you say, okay, that's not okay. It's great to protect myself. Here is the shield. And we are there when the shields need to come down and when you trust in your own power. Connecting to us occurs when you are no longer afraid of your fear, your agitation, your anxiety, your paranoia, your darker sides. We come in these moments and we don't turn it into light. We utilize it as a shield or a purification. And then we remind you that both light and dark are equally powerful. And we give you a choice of what to use. And then we continue to remind you that there can be a new choice of using both dark and light, using both fear and love. We continue poking and prodding you until you find a middle way to all things and all beings. And we won't stop until you do. From Noma Thamsanga, your parents weren't like you. You don't have to repeat the pattern. You continue to pray for a unique healing of the mind, for a unique set of independence, yet you are just as afraid of being independent while you long for it, strive for it, pull towards it, fight for it. And you say that independence is your goal. But healing occurs when, in the depth of your minds, you make a decision to move forward, even when you're afraid, even when you're afraid that you'll be like them, or that someone else is right about you that, by the way, isn't. Healing occurs when the decision is made to surrender, to give up the ideas that you could possibly exist apart from everything and everyone. Katya Pinto, she's picked you for general guidance. There's a circle of fire around you that moves like the tail of the dragon, flaming in the air, enlightened by its oxygen. Know that you are protected, but you must join your minds with those around you if you wish to help them, if you wish to serve. You must admit that there are factors in your life that must shift, factors in your life that must change. If you wish to be a channel for us or for anyone that is around you in your soul's unique family, you need to surrender parts of your life that are distracting you, even if it means letting people go. We understand that this is a scary choice, and we are with you all the while, and we love you. Okay, Maya Kalaria, Tiamat has picked you for general guidance. Isn't it a unique game to play when you are the only one in your entire family to hold your unique view? You are not alone. You are not the black sheep. Your mind can never bring about a resolve. You can't continue to say what they want you to say and to be how they want you to be, even if it means losing their support. You can support yourself. We are with you, and we love you, and we are holding you. We are holding you in your own fire until you stop burning yourself. Cody Rentas, she has picked you for general guidance. Are you still worried about what they think? We believe that you've gotten past the worried about what other people think and how weird your healing languages actually are. So be weird. Do you think dragons sound human or humans sound dragon? Believe me, your healing languages are the weirdest thing to us. And you do it anyway, and we do it anyway. Do it anyway is my message for you. Speak healing languages. Let them overcome you until your voice quivers. This isn't about being seen or being afraid to be seen. You've got it wrong there. This is about trust. This plagues us, so we will answer this question. This question, how can I come to terms with past mistakes and poor choices such as addiction? Even though I found my path, it still haunts me. Have you surrendered it? Surrender is a unique technology that means that you make an active choice to train your mind to never think upon it again. It takes training. It takes a unique training to tell the mind, I will never think upon that again. Now, your mind has created a unique way to shame itself, and you call it spirituality. You use unique words to continue to remain in an untrained mind, and then you'll say things like, well, that is a bypass. You'll say things like, well, am I just avoiding it, which isn't loving? This is a high vibes only tribe. Is that what they tell you? Then you think you've joined some other tribes. You see, you still do that in your spiritual realms as well, in seeking spirituality. It's not about poor choices. Are you still a person living in the past, or are you not? Surrender this pain to the ultimate mighty creator and source for whatever you believe that may be. And then stop thinking about it. Train your minds to think upon love, to think upon something different. This takes a mighty tool belt, but you must form one and use one and stop giving yourself excuses to think about the past. We're not going to say loving things about this or feel sorry for you. We're just going to tell you to just stop that. Just stop that. There's no need for it anymore. Either you are an empowered being or you are a person stuck in your past. Which are you choosing? This would not be given any space of compassion in a world of dragons. A dragon in this realm would be sent to a wizard, and not a human one, but sent to a wizard and be trained. You have baby minds. Grow up. Tiamat has picked Natalia for a general message. She says, the energy of seeking that you are noticing and people are around you is the egoic energy that follows about in all spiritual communities or those deemed as non-spiritual communities. You are here to change a paradigm. Only the ego can seek, but are you doing the same thing they're doing and you don't even know? Be mindful. Pure spirit can only extend, and there is a huge difference. Find your little cracks in between. That is your way. Beth Luttrell, I'm getting a big wave of compassion from Tiamat towards you right now. And she's picked this comment to respond to about feeling alone and how to experience connection. She said, it is common in dark night of the soul, which can extend for a plethora of time. It can extend for a multitude of years, although we hope that it will not continue for you. It is quite common in these years to feel disconnected because you are misunderstood, to feel as if you do not belong in the threshold of this or that, good or bad, people on one side or another side. It is common to feel lonely during that time, and we are with you right now. You must only have needs and wants for God. It must be your only seeking, and it will fill you so completely that you will never long for anything or anyone again. That is, after all, why this is happening in this unique awakening. But you are not alone. It is not specifically unique to you. There are many who awaken in this fashion and feel such horrifying loneliness. We encourage you to be filled and long and to direct all your needs only to Creator Source for whatever that is to you. When you want only God, you no longer care what it takes. You no longer care what is required. And initially, that does feel lonely. But if you turn all of your seeking to Creator Source, the loneliness will be filled fast. Do we all have a dragon guide? She says, yes, absolutely. And typically you will have one for each stage of your lives. How can I help those around me that I see struggling? Carla, she's chosen to answer that. She says, your example of light is what helps them when they are struggling. Have you noticed that oftentimes when true help and service is given, you become a witness for another human being in a unique way, and this does not require words? Urge them, if anything, to forgive, because forgiveness is the recognition that nothing has been done wrong, that nothing has been done to you, and that you would prefer to see love in the one in front of you, regardless of what it takes. She's wanting to close up here in probably 2 to 3 more questions. Oh, she wants to answer this one. This question says, how can you make peace with embodying your own dragon energy in a sensitive world? She said, the mind can't heal itself. You can't heal the mind from the mind. So you must invoke peace because it isn't natural to the mind. Do you see that peace is a natural state for dragons because we feel God's fire? We feel our power. Have you invoked your power? Have you utilized the 4 directions and called it back therefrom? Have you truly sat still long enough to feel the peace of your power? When you do that, and yes, it is a practice, yes, it takes a ferocious devotion, but when you can do that, you will experience your own power. And then you will likely be engaged even more deeply into your pain, because your pain is a roadmap for what you need to heal. Healing doesn't look like a rosy outcome. Healing looks like more pain because you're willing to master more. Okay, Sarah, she will address you about the baby red dragon coming out of the solar plexus and the heart. Um, she said, breathe that in a new direction through the top so that it's not coming in or out like she moves this way, like with her claws. So she wants it to be more this way. When it comes out this way, breathe it back in and then see where it comes out next. This is an interesting practice that is powerful for human adepts when they're going into themselves more deeply and when they're really ready to go out into the world a little bit more and in their unique purposes creatively. I will see this unique practice that you're talking about with dragons. Mm. Katie Rose, she has chosen to respond to your general inquiry. So, an afraid mind believes that if it shares what it has, if it continues to serve the world, that it will lose somehow. It will, the afraid mind, the mind of fear will say, I will be drained, I will be exhausted, I will take upon too much energy of others, I will become more like them. There are many things that an afraid mind will say. So keep in mind that this is your point of healing that you need to focus on right now. All right. Elizabeth Costello, she's chosen to answer your question, and she said, dragon medicine is more powerful than human vaccines. You know this, and you can't make anyone else know anything differently. Now, let me teach you something else. Dragon medicine can completely transmute, release, and purify anything if you feel that one day you must do that to yourselves. We're simply giving you this information. See, this is what I love about Tiamat. She won't get into the whole yes vaccine, no vaccine, this president, that president. She believes that it's all insane right now. And she believes that we've all chosen sides until we stop seeing a side, is how she explains it to me. How to get dragon medicine? She said, drop all of your belief systems. Drop all of your belief systems and meet us humbly. Meet us in humility. Ask. It's really that simple. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and go. Remember that you can get a 25% discount on a private 30-minute or 40-minute reading from me. Just message us from your Patreon account. We've got that link to the top of the chat, and I will put it in the comments as well later for you. We still do have the free reading. You can get a free reading going on as well for up to 10 minutes worth of either a general or a specific message from your guides, but we prefer general, just so you know, so the right things can come out for you that's meant for you. When you join Patreon right now, only for this next week, it closes in a week, you can get a free reading if you message us and ask for the code for it. There's that going on as well. Okay, you can get 30% off of the Channeling Pythagoras 777, the Holy Keys to Heal Your Life. This is an alchemy class. It is a class taught by an adept. It is a class taught by a deep master of mysteries. And he also talks very simply. This is something, he talks from a space of vibration. He talks about frequency a lot. And he talks about these 7 keys being something so, so much more simple than any school has ever taught you. So this class is for anyone, not just a mystery school student. Could be for anyone. So that's what I loved about working with him, and we're still working together daily. So I look forward to bringing about why we have 7 chakras, why we have 7 mystical laws, why we have 7 major universal laws that create and manifest for us, why 777 around everywhere. Well, we're going to find out, and we're going to ask him about the universal architecture of the soul, because that's what he brought to us. Okay. So that's exciting. That's coming up in October. You can get 30% off of that now. That code lasts for another, what did you say, Anya? That code, a week and a half or something?
26th.
Yeah, because it's an early bird code. So that on the 26th, that code will expire and you won't be able to use it anymore. So if you're sitting on the Pythagoras channeling and alchemy class code, you might want to go ahead and use it before the 26th. All right. And if you don't have it, message us and we'll get it for you. Okay. You guys are awesome. Thank you for showing up on your Saturday. I know that time is so precious and we're operating in this unique space that feels like time just goes like that. I don't know if you recognize it, but I feel that we're mastering the use of our time in a very efficient, succinct way. So I really appreciated you coming to this channeling and giving me your precious time. And I know that's the most beautiful gift that you could give to me. So much more precious than money, right? So I appreciate your time and I appreciate you. And I'll see you really soon. Okay. Bye.